Okay, so what I'm about to share with you today, it changed my life. I'd spent 7 years in school. I'm a veterinary doctor by training. My parents still hope that one day I'll carry my stethoscope and, still go back to practice. But it took me from a graduate after 2 years, 7 years of uni, 2 years of practicing. I was earning less than $250 per month. I was working Mondays to Saturdays. I couldn't even afford my own apartment. So I was living next to the kennel where the dogs were. Because some people used to board their dogs. And what I'm about to share with you today took me from that girl who could hardly afford to buy a meal. I had to cook everything because so much was my salary, to someone who started working with companies in Canada about 5 months before we moved here. I was earning about 4K USD every month, and then took me from that to coming here to Canada, working with brands like Disney, like Sony. I've been invited to events by World Simple, and recently I won $4,000, part of BFN's program for Black founders. So I'm telling you all of that not to say, oh, I've done so much, but to say that there is power in what I'm about to teach you. And if you pay attention and ask me all the questions, and more importantly, put in the work, you would see the results. And the beautiful part about my story is that I'm not even there yet. Like I've not worked with all the brands I want to work with. I am still building. I share my processes if you follow me online. So what that means for you is that it's relatable. We are literally on the same level, right? Okay. So I've shared a bit about my story and how it all started writing 2018, like every child interested in like reading books. 2020, I started making videos during the pandemic. Fun fact, I took a class with Salem King and I couldn't even afford that class because how much was I earning? It was my boyfriend then, husband and father of 2 kids now, that paid for it. I started making videos. I didn't have a tripod. I was making videos in a car. That was 2020. By 2021, I'd gotten my first paid partnership. I'd landed my second job, not even the first one, because I started creating content and started building a personal brand. By 2022, I got my first brand ambassadorship. They paid me about $9,000 to promote their product. And I was just about 30K followers. And then by 2024, works with RW and Co, Disney, Sony, World Simple. Yeah. So today, when you hear personal brand or when you hear content creation, a lot of questions I get, I was hoping someone would mention it. So I'll just say you can see someone mentioned it, but since nobody mentioned it, I will still say it. It's the concept of niching. Oh, what's my niche? I want to be a creator. I want to build a brand. What am I going to create content about? But what I have found to be problematic about the idea of niching is that it boxes you into a corner, right? Such that human beings are so multi-potentiated, I hope that's correct, that creating about one thing alone consistently will not only bore you, it will also bore your audience. What's the solution? If niching is not the answer to building a strong personal brand, what is? I introduce to you the Topical Story Framework. I know, sounds like complex jargon, but I'm going to explain where this came from. So I have a 9 to 5 that stemmed from content creation, but of course I got more training on it as a content marketer or growth marketer. And there's this what's the word? It's a principle that when a brand, let's say, I'm going to break it down. It sounds complex, but I'm going to explain it. A SaaS company or a fintech company, they're new in the market or they have a new product they want to launch. What they do is that they look for a core problem, right, that product is solving, and then they create so many content pieces around it. They choose the core topic. Let's say the core topic is remittance or sending money abroad. They choose that, and then from there they stem and create different things around it. It is called the topical authority or the topic cluster framework. But because of my understanding of this framework, I have applied it to my own journey as a content creator, right? And I have seen results, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So for the purpose of being creators, I call it the topical story framework. And I like that when I asked you what you think about personal brand, someone said how you're perceived. So literally, this framework is defined as how you're perceived as an expert on a specific subject or topic. How you're perceived by brands that will pay you money to create content, and how you're perceived by your followers. Note the word perception. On a specific, you can see anything I highlight here is intentional. You're perceived as an expert on a specific topic. Right. Now, you see, when you hear brands pay people $5,000, $9,000, $40,000 for 2 videos, they don't give that money to just anybody, but to people that they perceive to be experts. What I'm going to show you today is how to be that expert on that particular subject or topic. Now, one thing I usually see that people do, especially creators, is this. When you see that there's a particular niche that is making money, we are all human, right? So you're tempted to want to start creating. But how do you merge making an income, building that authority that you deserve, with staying true to yourself? Because in the long run, if you're not true to yourself, you can only go so far copying other people. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you how to merge staying true to your truest self, following your purpose, whatever God has given you to do, to aligning with what you want to be seen as an expert and making the income that you deserve. This is just a pictorial representation. I want you to keep it in mind. That's why I use the picture. The black circle with the orange in it is the core topic, right? And the triangles, the squares, the hexagon, and the circles are the subtopics that you'll be creating around. Okay, so I've explained these topic clusters, a group of content that revolve around the central story. Note that word, right? And then, so the pillar story, that's the foundation, that's your core story. And then the cluster stories are sub-stories around it. I'm repeating this so that when we get into the part where you are going to start writing, because you are going to write, this is a class, right? You would remember. So, you see this topical story framework, that is how you build the authority that will get you perceived as an expert, that would open the doors to the speaking engagements that you want, the brand deals that you want, and the income that you truly deserve. And that's why it's important that you know how to build it today. Okay, so how do you build topical authority? Number one, we're all content creators, comprehensive content. So that when people think about that topic, you are the first person that comes to mind. Not because you're always begging people to like and to subscribe, but because you are actually sharing valuable content. So here is the core thing. You've covered the topic so thoroughly and that you've addressed all relevant subtopics. The second thing is that the quality has to be high quality. And I know that a lot of us are maybe just starting out or, you're at different stages. But one thing I always say is that whatever you have to do, whatever you have to do, do it to your best at that particular phase of life that you're in. If all you can do is what you've considered to be your best, do it. Your best is not what someone who has been creating content for 10 years can do. Your best is what you can do. But just make sure that there is no point in time where you are giving less than what you know that you can actually put out. Okay. So the third thing is the EAT. It's a big acronym, content marketing, but really what you want to show is that you have the credentials, you have the authority to speak about that particular subject. And then finally, storytelling. So now I've said a lot of things. I've said, make sure your content is so good, make sure you're being comprehensive, make sure it's high quality, make sure that you have the credentials to talk about it. Now, in our case, credentials doesn't mean maybe you have a doctorate. It probably just means you have a lived experience, right? And then this storytelling is the rope that ties it all together, because that is what makes your audience care about you. Now, in all of my videos, I recently started saying, hi, my name is Folasade. I'm a stay-at-home mom and content creator sharing stories about my journey to financial independence. Now, I'm not just saying that. When you hear stay-at-home mom, if you're a mom, it connects with you. When you hear content creator, when you hear immigrants, you are like, oh, okay. So those are the things that ties it together and gets you invested in my story and why you want to keep following me. So storytelling is very important. Okay, so this framework, I've broken it down into 3 phases for you, because at the end of this class, which is, I keep saying it's a class because it is, you're going to have everything you need to use this topical framework in creating your content. So the first part is you need to find the story. Remember what I said about staying true to yourself, despite the fact that you still want to make money? That's very important. So you find your story, then you tell your story, and then everybody say you make the money. Very important. Okay. So part 1, find your story. So what problem keeps you up at night? What would you say in relation to the kind of content that you create? I have a very eager student here. Please help me give her. What problem keeps you up at night?
Personally, for me, I came here prepared, and so I'm gonna share my answer in depth, if you allow me.
Yeah, you have about 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, someone put me on timer. So the issue that keeps me up at night is very simple. Well, let's see. It's complex, but I'll break it down. The topic or the cause that I analyzed and recognized is the absence of unity. Because knowing the fact that we're gathered here for one reason is to build each other up, right? So we are fixing that issue that keeps me up at night, right? And the first point I would like to share, I have 3 points. So the first point I would like to share is that absence of unity has, first of all, an impact, ego, and discrimination. Okay. Why? Because the absence of unity is the opposite of completeness and authenticity. And
yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry, I got you.
And thank you for that. Authenticity and roots, right? Strong roots.
Okay.
So yeah, how it ties all in is that the problem that keeps me up at night is the absence of unity. Okay. And we have to fight the ego. Okay. The discrimination, and the authenticity.
I got you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So whatever that creator here wants to share, what keeps them up at night? If you ask me, I can tell you. Okay. He wants to share.
Really, on a creator level, is like, what's the next piece of content I really create? Like, I have ideas, but like, do I need to post every day? How many ideas can I come up
okay.
with,
So even finding the content ideas. Oh my God, I know. Okay, who else wants to share? Okay, Ruth. And then we'll take her, and then we'll move on.
Something that keeps me awake at night is how to build community, authentic community within Ottawa, really, especially within those who have moved from another country to this city or from city to city.
Okay. So community is what keeps Ruth up at night, and then we'll have her. If you are going to answer a question, so just tell me your name so I can remember.
Hi, my name is Suena. I think in terms of content, I would say what keeps me up is like being like, okay, is this for like my spam private page or is this for my public page? Like what? Because I don't want like random people knowing everything about me. So like, what do I post on which page? And like, how do I keep something that's like authentic to me? But if it's too public, like what page do I post it on?
Okay. So the next question I have now, I think we can all relate to that, guys. Let me let you in on a secret. Every night when I wake up, because I have a toddler and I have an 8-month-old, so I wake up every night. I've not slept since 2021. Yeah. So every night when I wake up, I have to tell myself that, you know what, I'm not going to overthink the content I posted the night before, because there's this desperate urge to go and delete the video because I feel like I shared too much. Who else has that? So I'm like, you know what? No, I shared how much I made in January. In January, I made about $12,794 as a content creator, and I shared that. My mother must not see that video, by the way. And you know, the night I posted it, I said, I am not going to delete this video. So when I went to the bathroom, when my daughter woke me up, I was like, no, I'm not going to think about it because there's just this desperate urge. Am I sharing too much? So I can relate with that. Okay. So the other question I have for you is that, before I move to that, so why are you creating content? Just 2 people. Why are you creating content? Why? Besides the fact that you want to make money, and that's fine. Why? What's your deep why? Be writing it. You're not writing. Be writing down. We are already doing the finding story exercise. I'm serious, guys. You will see it will all add up. Please write. Open your notes. I was going to tell Nina to make sure everybody has a notepad, but I know we are all digital now. Why are you creating content? Write it down. I'm telling you, you will soon see why I'm telling you to write it down. Okay, someone wants to answer me. 2. She and she's wearing pink at your back. Yeah. Why are you creating content? Write it down. This is a story finding exercise, so it's important that you document.
I am building content for thought leadership and authority.
I can't hear you. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did you hear me?
No.
Okay. I'm creating content for thought leadership and authority.
Around what industry?
Leadership and AI.
Okay. Who else wants to go? Okay. I have a volunteer. Don't worry, I'll call you later for something else.
So for me, I'm a makeup artist.
Okay.
And I mean, aside making money, like you said, for me, I want people to see what I can do, like see my work and know that, to trust that this person is going to give me the best of service when they come to me.
Okay, that's good. So have you written it down? I know you didn't get the opportunity to share. Why are you creating content? You've written it down. Okay, so who else is already creating this kind of content? I want you to write that down as well. Who else is creating this type of content? And then how can you do it differently? I want you to write it down as well. Remember, this is an exercise. Please invest in it. So remember, why am I creating content? Who else is creating this kind of content? What can I do differently? Because of my background, my skills, because of my abilities, because of my story, where I come from. Okay. So the next thing I want you to do is, what are you good at? So you will see how it all comes together, right? What are you good at? You can start. I want someone to take the mic and say, so we have a template here. I enjoy helping your target audience find resources to what you're good at. So let me start so it's not confusing. What am I good at? I enjoy helping content creators find resources to start, grow, and monetize their businesses. Can you see how I used it? So I want a volunteer to use that. If you're not a volunteer, just write it down in your notes because it's still important for you to document it. So who wants to share what they enjoy doing? Okay, yes.
I enjoy helping small business owners leverage technology for faster growth in their businesses. So whether it's putting them onto free or low-cost software or them experiencing tech overwhelm, I help them overcome that hiccup so they can focus on what they do best.
Okay, so that's good. So what problems do you solve? Now, write it again in your notes. I help people who want to insert the action. I help my target audience, in this case, content creators, do insert the action, find their voice, make money, create stable sources of income. I inspire stay-at-home moms like me, young women like me, to build successful creator businesses. So you write that down as well. Then the other thing is, what pain points have they shared? For me, for my own target audience, they've shared fear of starting out, fear of being seen as cringe, how to even start creating content, lack of resources or support, right? So whatever this is for you, write it down. And see, I know that I'm reading out all my answers. It's because I've been on this journey for the past 4 years. So it's okay if you don't have all the answers, but what is important is that you must start to find it if you're going to get the topical authority that would help you build the kind of income and brand that you deserve. Okay, so this is my personal brand strategy. I took this screenshot early in this morning. So this is what I'm currently running with. I need to tell you, this is my Notion page. This page has gone through a lot of iterations. So I'm sharing that to tell you that you will tweak and edit as you continue to find your true self. Okay, so what do I do? What is my goal? What is my core calling? My core story. Now, I want to bring it back to the concept of topical storytelling. Remember what I said is that there is a core story, right, that you're trying to share, right? But out of that core story, there are going to be rivers that stem from it. So this is my core story. And what I just took you through now is to find your core story. That's why we went through the whole story finding exercise. So what do? I help African creators achieve financial stability, make, invest, and grow their income through shared experiences. I have gone through it, and I know that sometimes the difference between being able to stay at home and care for your children the way you want to is having a skill that people are willing to pay for, even if you're working from home. I know that the difference between anxiety and wondering where I will keep my 7-month-old, right, and wondering if there is anyone who can care for her like I do, is having that skill and getting someone who is interested enough to pay for it so that I don't have to do menial jobs, so that I don't have to queue in the cold. I know that my girls are taken care of, right? So, and because I know this, and this is why it matters to me to help people like me as well find it. Recently, we had a class in August, just 2 months after I had my second child. And one of the people that attended, she hadn't had like a corporate job in 2 years. She had been like creating content on social media. She had a toddler. She came to the class, and then I showed them how they can use their current content creation skills to land 9-to-5s. Believe you me, 3 weeks later, it wasn't even up to 1 month, this lady got a full-time role with a leading media company in the UK and Nigeria without previous experience, just because she now knows how to. Now, she can stay at home with her children, right? She can chase her dreams because she has the skills to. So this is what keeps me up at night, because I know that there are women men, people depending on me to find their story and get paid for the work that they deserve. Okay, so what matters to me? It matters to me to give BIPOC creators, or even creators, now that I've heard like what Efosa said, and I'm making some tweaks. Remember, I said it's a living document. Everything they need to start, grow, and scale their creative businesses. The problem I solve, I help creators build successful marketing careers in tech or corporate organizations. I help creators find paid brand deals, even while working 9 to 5s, because we know that even that salary is not enough, right? I help stay-at-home moms build successful content careers and land remote tech jobs. So now, if you look at what platforms do I want to be on, you can take a screenshot, even though I'm going to give you the link to this like whole document at the end of this class, right? I'm on Instagram for short form and YouTube for longer educational videos. See, it's so important to find your truest reason, because it would fuel your action. This is the reason why I have been posting on YouTube consistently since the beginning of this year. When I feel like it, when I don't, when I have cramps, when my children are crying, when I haven't slept through the night. It's because it is your why that will fuel your actions. And because I know this, I know that lives are depending on me to take action. I will wake up and I will shoot content even when I don't feel like it. Right, okay. So, and then it defines the kind of platforms that I am on as well. So, who is my ideal follower? Creators who want to make money by getting brand deals. Now, this is not about me. I hope as I'm talking, you're also writing it down so that you can find yours as well. So, what is your pillar story? Maybe I told you people to be writing it down. Oh, yeah? What is your pillar story, at least from what you've written? And I'm going to come from here because I've not had so many people, apart from my friend here, share different answers to my questions. So, what is your pillar story?
I like building with software, so that's the skill that I have, and what matters to me is enabling others to create products that they would like to have and like they would like to market.
Okay, that's good. That's like I said, it takes a while. You're going to have to iterate and iterate. Okay, so I'm going to move faster now. So now, because I help creators to start, grow, and scale their creative businesses. Remember I said the goal is not to stick to one thing and keep talking about content creation and how to help creators. The goal is to find adjacent. So you want to find related topics, right? Because of this, I need to teach storytelling. Because of this, I will teach investments. Because what I want to make sure is that you're financially stable as a content creator. You're thriving. So I will teach investments. I will teach how to run your small business. And that includes talking about finance. Right? So I want you to do the same thing and look around like what you've written down as your core story and look for related things, that is a function of that. So remember, my core story is I want to help small content creators start and grow their businesses. And that's where the whole issue of small business finance comes in. Remote working, stay-at-home moms, remember? So from what you've written down, I want you to look for related topics and adjacent topics. So for me, motherhood is an adjacent topic because, it's directly relating with my audience. Having a supportive partner, having access to a strong community, my faith, being led by God, health and fitness. Right, okay. So the second part is that you want to tell your story. This video, I made a video about this and it's currently like it has brought me about 1,000 followers in the past maybe 2 weeks. Now, it's a very easy way to categorize your content. For you, you said, look, sometimes you're not sure what you want to create, what's the next thing. If you categorize your content into the 4 H's, right? So the first H is the heart. Now, it's where you share your why. What's your passion? Why are you interested? Why are you creating makeup videos, right? This is why you share it. You share your heart. This is what makes people feel connected to you, right? Then the second H is the how. This is how when you teach your followers, this is where you offer value, right? And I want you to know what I said here. In this how is where you're going to insert the brands that you want to work with. You would see how to do it. I will teach you. And then the heart is where you want to share, where you want to be vulnerable, right? Where you want to, when I went to Toronto to pitch and I left my girls at home and I wasn't even sure I was going to win anything, and I shared that, and it just makes you feel a bit more, care a bit more about what I'm sharing, right? And then the hack. Now, if you look at this is a content calendar. I'm going to share the link. If you already follow me, you most likely have it, where I have created a kind of content calendar for you. You can share your how on Monday, and then on Tuesday you share the heart behind it, right? And then on Wednesday you share the hard thing that you did that week, right? And then on Thursday or Friday you share a hack. So the hack here is where I share maybe my own custom ways of doing things, like this 4H, for example, right? And so what this does is that now you're working from inside out. You've worked from your why you care, why you're building this thing, why you're passionate about it. Then now you've moved out, to now the different expressions that it's going to take, right? Across the adjacent industries. Remember what I said? What we want to do is that you want to find a core story, and then you want to build clusters around that core story. And then you can now use this heart and how and hard and hack, right? To share it with your audience. Is it clear? Or should I go over it again? Okay. So now this is where it gets hard. Sometimes it's not even that we don't know what to do or we don't know what we should be doing. It's just that you've just not locked in. Like you've not, it doesn't matter to you so much that you would show up even when you don't feel like. And I just want to tell you today that I would say like the first thing to do is when ideas come to you, just write them down immediately, right? That's how I told you people to be writing, because if you write it at home on the Uber or on your way back home now, you not remember, right? So write down ideas. And then another thing you want to do is you want to use like a content planner. I use Notion, but before then I was using Google Docs and then the notes on my Apple, like my iPhone. And then discipline over motivation. To be honest, it took me about 3 years to clock this in. So I can cut you some slack if you haven't gotten to that state. But you see, when you get there, you just have to get there. When you get there, you realize that what you're doing, content creation, is work. And whether you feel like it or not, you just have to show up because destinies are relying on you. How long will you wait? How long are people who want to build products, how long are they going to wait for you to show up and teach them? Do you know how many people see you and like, oh, if she can do it, she has 2 kids. I know Stephanie has 2 kids because we are friends. If she can do it, then I can do it. Then someone else is like, oh, she's from Mauritius. If she can do it, then I can do it as well. How long are you going to keep them waiting? How long are you going to keep waiting for inspiration? Okay. This is why I said I'm not sitting down, because if I had sat down, I would have stood up by now. Okay, but another thing, so I've said that, and then you need to realize that your life will not change until your habits do. This year, my goal is to make $100,000 in content creation. Don't clap, I've not made the money yet. I said it's a goal. Okay, so that's my goal. And I know that goal, that money is not going to come to 2024's Folasade. The Folasade that will make $100,000, the Folasade that will wake up and shoot videos, even when she didn't sleep overnight because she had a thought that was stealing. And it's just something I have to do, right? So you need to find what's pushing you. Me, I want to buy a house. That's what's pushing me. I want my family to be together. My husband currently works in Nuna Votes. He's a project manager. So those are my goals. That's what's firing me. I want to be able to see women like me, young men like me, immigrants like me, build successful businesses, and they're like, oh, I did it because I saw Folasade do it too. So until that fire cracks in your bone, and I really hope that the way I'm speaking now, it does, I want you to wake up and choose motivation. Or what am I saying? And choose discipline over motivation. Okay. So, and then another thing, a hack that I use is that I batch create. So all the videos I have been posting, I shot them in 2 weekends, like a 2-day weekend on Friday and on Saturday. So that's something that really helps. So I've not really made any new video apart from my IG videos in like recent times. So I just like bring out once my husband sees me carrying all the clothes, he knows that I'm about to shoot. And then I just shoot like the videos, and then so batch creating really helps, right? And outsourcing, I'll also not lie, I just started outsourcing and it's made things a lot easier. It means that like the money I have to spend on Uber, or I don't do nails, or to do my hair has reduced, right? But it's worth it to me because I know it's an investment I'm making. So if I can afford to outsource, it makes like, yeah. And then I also outsource some of my editing to Nigeria, right? It's also cheaper. So like, see, I'm honest, I'm not saying like I'm doing it all by myself. Okay, so now this is the part like I am most passionate about, because you can have 1,000,000 followers in Canada and brands will not work. You will not make money if you don't know how. I know because it has been me. I sat down with my maybe 120,000 followers, and I saw people with 20,000 followers. They were making money, working with brands, and I'm like, God, what? Because when you're back in Nigeria, once they see that you have followers like these, brands are rushing you. You are working with Indomie, you are working with Pepsi, you are working with Malta Guinness. But Canada, no. And until you clock that, you will stay there with your 1,000,000 followers and you don't make any money. Right. Okay. So the first thing we're making money is even knowing, see now, I wanted some suspense. Now you people have shown them on my slides. Is even knowing like the different ways to make money. Right. So I currently make money through sponsored content. I make money through I actually meant to write user-generated content here. I've done some UGC in the past. I make money through Google AdSense. I have a 9 to 5. And I know that this room is full of entrepreneurs, but can we be honest? We will not all be entrepreneurs, at least not immediately. Some of us need sustainable income sources, especially when you have children or dependents as you grow. The most important thing is to be true to yourself and follow God as you're led, right? I'm a big fan of having a 9 to 5, especially when your content creation business is in the early stages. Okay, so I have a 9 to 5. I also do contract roles. For example, I was an expert in residence with BFN, and I work with Anushio and Okwara Academy, just consulting with them. Another way you can make money is service-based businesses. My friend Fumi quit her 9 to 5 to be shooting people at their weddings. Not shooting like this, I mean like shooting videos at their weddings. And she is making money. So you don't need to wait for brand deals. That's what I'm telling you. And I have a paid community beyond borders. Fumi is going to come and teach our creators how to do this, like how to start an event content creation business. Okay. And then another thing is subscriptions. Like I said, I have a paid community, a yearly paid community where I teach all of this good stuff, and affiliate marketing. Now, I used to look down on affiliate marketing, but when I saw how much Bisola Whisk Queen made from affiliate marketing and promoting products, now it's a relevant source, but it would really work if you have an email newsletter, and I'll come to that later. I need to rush now, so I really talk about this. So high paying industries, I'll be honest with you guys, I've told you guys that it's important to be true to yourself, right? And not just go to an industry just because there is money in it, but there is a way to match what you're truly passionate about and where the money is. Someone once said, which happened to me by the way, and was not even planned, that don't marry for money, but go to where money is and marry for love. Can I hear that was deep, Abi? Which was like what? I will say it again. So don't marry for money, but go to where money is and marry for love. Now, don't take it practically. You don't marry for money. Yeah, but really what that means is that in this context is that, remember what I taught you, you have a core story. But there is no way that your core story does not intersect any of this. Do you understand? You might just be talking about why you are so passionate about building products, right? And you're talking about how someone who built a product because of what you learned, they made this particular amount, right? Or maybe you're just passionate about maybe helping other moms, but you're sharing like your beauty routine and you're sharing the products with us. Or you're passionate about helping people, creators have a financial, stable source of income like me, and then you move into finance, right? So, and that's why I taught you to be true to yourselves first, and then you can branch into any of this. So, high paying industries, there's money in finance. My friend, Exoreni, and I can share this because she shared it, herself as well, made about $40-something thousand shooting 2 videos for a particular brand. I've not made that kind of money before, but I will, right? So there's money in finance, right? And then beauty, this is Justin's camera roll. I follow her, she's American, by the way. And I know she's worked with brands like MAC, and, all the good stuff. I'm not a beauty girl, so yeah. Family, that's where a lot of money is. If you're comfortable sharing your love life, or even it doesn't have to be someone that you're dating. It can be like your mom and your dad. Cheesy, I don't know who follows Cheesy Duru here. Cheesy shares a relationship with her father, right? Yeah. And then there's also tech, so for the people building products, those are high paying industries. So platforms, I'm going to speak about 3 of these platforms: Instagram and Threads, because they kind of go hand in hand. I'll share things that have worked for me. And then LinkedIn, I know we don't like that platform, and that's okay, but there is money there. The first job I got in tech while I was still back in Nigeria, that was paying me $4K USD per month. I got it because someone just sent me, hi, I'm looking for a marketer on LinkedIn. And after 3 interviews, he hired me and he was paying me that much. So there's money on LinkedIn, and for that, we will like it. Amen. Okay. And then email. So I'm going to start with email because it's easily overlooked. How many of you have a newsletter, an email newsletter? Okay. And you send out emails consistently. Okay. Well, if you don't have, you're going to have at the end of this conversation, right? Email, and I'm starting with what you can control, because let's be honest, we all want to work with the big brands, right? But if we wait for that, we might be waiting for a long time. Do you understand? So sometimes you have to start with what you can control. Email is the only revenue source you can control. So what can you monetize now? So look at yourself, what you have written down. Remember what I told you to write down. What can you monetize? What skill do you have that you can teach people and they can buy via mail now, right? So what I do for my own newsletter is that I send content, I share valuable content bi-weekly, right? And I also have workflows for conversion. So when you come into my email, I'm still working on it. When you come into my list, the only thing I'm selling now is access into our paid creator accountability group, where we have like people coming to teach us every month, and then I have one-on-one sessions with the content creators, right? So what you want to do is like whatever product that you create, you want to like make sure you create workflows. So as people are coming into your list, they get the welcome message. The next email they get is to probably buy your like low ticket offer, right? And it's because it's an easy way to make money. And I'm telling you that I personally, okay, other things you can share, templates, you can sell ebooks, one-on-one sessions as an expert that you are. Remember what we said about building expertise, right? And then you can also share calendars. Okay, calendars. We are going to move from that. Okay, the ROI from email marketing is insane. In the past month, I think I made about $8,000 in 30 days. Now, I made that money in 30 days. But the truth is that I've been nurturing my followers and my email list for years. Well, my email list for like 3 months, but I've been nurturing my followers for years, and now they trust me. But if I didn't have the email list, I wouldn't make this money, right? So yeah, I have that so that you can scan it. I use Flowdesk, and then if you scan this link, I think it gives you 50% off your first month. So if you want to start email newsletter, if you want to start making money through email now, this is a good QR code to scan, and you have 14 days free. So even just try it and test it. Oh yeah, bring out your phones and scan now. Okay. So now this is where I really like to talk, because I have put this into practice, right? So last year I was about 5 months pregnant, and I started creating content, the different outfits that I will wear. And then there's this brand I really wanted to work with, so I went to their store at Bayshore Mall, took a video, tagged them, put it on my stories, sent them, they replied and said, oh, thank you so much for checking us out. And then I sent this email, here, I'm going to come back to this. I said, hi, it's not an email, I sent a DM and said, hi, my name is Fola, and I'm looking to collaborate. And they replied me. And because of that, I got a brand deal, about $5,000. They paid me $5,000, and they gave me over $1,000 worth of maternity outfits, just because I did that. So if I'm telling you this is because I have gotten results from it. So let's go back. So how to make money on Instagram? You want to position, okay, so the first thing you want to do is that the industries that intersect, remember what I shared with you earlier, the adjacent stories and your core stories. You want to do the research and look for industries that you can work with. Please make sure you're writing. And then the second thing, this thing, brands want to see themselves on the page. I spent $500 for a 1-hour session, 500 USD, not Canadian dollars, for a one-on-one session with an American content creator, and she was one that taught me this, and I'm teaching you guys for free. But sometimes, people, until you pay for something, it won't really enter you like that. So, and I know you paid to be here, so I really hope it does. I will say it again. Brands want to see themselves. They want to see how they fit in. So if you're currently creating content and all you're doing is motivating your followers, nice and good, charity, wow. But you can also do the same thing while incorporating the brands, right, on your page. So you want to position yourself. I was talking to Rennie. We both spoke at Algorithm Ottawa. And I was like, Rennie, how do you get all these brands? Because even me, I want to get more brand. And she's like, the truth is that she just positions herself. So you see her creating content about how to invest, different bank accounts. And you think she's just, giving value, of which she's giving value. I belong to accountability group, so I know. But she's also being intentional. So ask yourself now, how can I position myself to work with the brands? It's easy. Create content and tag them. If you go on my page, I recently made a video about why it's important to register your business as content creators. And I tagged owner. Not because they've paid me yet, but because I want them to. You can go and I'm being like transparent, because that's how it works. That was something I did for RW and Co. And they ended up paying me $5,000, right? Not because they knew me from anywhere. Okay, so you want to create content that brands see themselves in, and actually tag them, let them see themselves. So when someone comes to my page now, they see the different ways I can partner with small business owners, or they can reach a small business owner's audience. Okay, then you pitch and follow up again. There are some brands that you just have to keep, you can't send an email once and just be okay, right? You have to keep pitching and pitching and pitching again, and then you need to also charge your worth. So I just took a screenshot. This is again my personal content strategy and the brands I want to work with in the future. I have Viral, Uber. I travel a lot for speaking engagements, sometimes for like my business. So you can take a screenshot of this and just create something that looks like it. So you can like make a list of the brands that intersect like your industry according to the research that we've done. What category, how do they align, and what is your strategy, right? Okay. So how do you pitch to brands? I know a lot of people like just reach out to brands, but remember I said I have a 9 to 5. In my 9 to 5, I lead marketing for North America for a remittance fintech company, and I know when creators just want my money and they don't really use my product, or they don't really care. So don't be that creator. Genuinely like the brands, right? Use them, right? Don't just say, oh, hi, I want to create high quality content. The reason why RW and Co answered me was because they saw that I genuinely liked. I'd gone to the store, right? I had my husband drive me there. It was a cold day, but I still went. So be genuine. Remember what we started this conversation with is that you don't just want to make money. You want to stay true to your truest self while you're doing it, right? Okay, so use the brand, do a sample post, tag the brand, post to your stories, send a follow-up message asking for partnership details. But don't be that creator who just wants money, because at the end of the day, brands are people too. Like, they're human beings, right? At the end of the phones, the social media accounts, managing. So let your interest be genuine. Renny was telling me again, I use Renny because, she's like a mentor to me, like in the content creation industry. She was telling me that it took her, like, she created content so many times and tagged TD Bank so many times before they worked with her. So, and then there's another creator, Tosin Olani. Some of you might know her. She was at SoPluggd Ottawa. And Tosin tags Tim Ottins like a lot. Like, she genuinely likes them. And I know, to be honest, not all brands. You can't genuinely like all brands. But at least make an effort and let it show. Okay. So, making the money on LinkedIn. Like I've said, we can't all be full-time content creators. We can't all be entrepreneurs, and that's okay. Especially when, like, you don't feel like led that that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? I was full-time in 2023, and then I felt like, it was time to, like, have a stable source of income. Okay, and then LinkedIn is where you find, like, 9 to 5s. So raise your hands if you feel this way about LinkedIn. I have just about 5 slides left, so I need you to be very engaged. Raise your hands. Can you read what this person said on the screen? Person said, I hate LinkedIn. There, I said it. That person is my husband. And I forced him to make this post. Yeah. So raise your hands if you feel the same way about LinkedIn. LinkedIn can be very cringe. And then there was this day, I posted something, and I was like, maybe communities, or maybe I'm so excited, or I want something. And then someone said, oh, this is amazing. Juxtaposing the way brands work and communities work. I'm like, why are you talking like that? Is that how you talk real life? LinkedIn people are so annoying. But LinkedIn works, right? And I get the cringe, but it works. I think the only thing is to be genuinely yourself, even on LinkedIn. Don't use LinkedIn speak. But yeah, so now for content creators, that maybe content creation is what you're doing full time, but you also like to extend that skill, to landing a job. I am a content creator first, and you can take a screenshot, right? I lead community and partnerships at AfriChain, and part of the reasons why I got this job, by the way, is because I already have a community. Because I was a content creator, right? So see how, like, I shared, like, the things I have done, even as a content creator. So you can still, like, clean up your LinkedIn and position for a 9 to 5 if that's something like you want to do. And then social proof is so important, right? People want, when someone is hiring, I hire so I know. When someone is hiring, they're kind of like putting themselves at risk. So what you want to do is that you want to de-risk yourself by showing proof of people that, even if it's volunteer work that you did, right? Make sure you have social proof. And then I have this sample LinkedIn content calendar. I've said a lot. But everything I've said will not make any difference unless you execute. And see, I say this is what I live by. You need to first make it work before you can make it beautiful. A lot of us want the results that people that have been putting in the work for years have, but they didn't start there. Right? You want to create videos as crisp as wisdom. You want to be jumping and clothes to be falling on you. But even wisdom didn't start from there, right? You need to start, don't overthink it, right? Yes, day before yesterday, I just told myself that I've been talking a lot about showing brands, but I don't do it as much as I teach because I'm very passionate about teaching. And day before yesterday, I just said, you know what, I'm going to do this thing. And I took my camera and I recorded videos, and I posted 2 videos between Friday. This is Saturday, Abby. Yeah, on Friday, and then I posted another one today, because execution is everything. Anybody can ideate, anybody can write all these things I've been telling you to write down, but the difference between those people and the people who get the actual result and the people who have the topical authority is the doing. So another thing, again, like I said, you have to reiterate, and I'm going to take questions shortly. You have to iterate, and but one thing I have seen, because okay, I don't know if I told you guys, when I started creating content, I started creating relationship content, because there's something I say all the time, that God still has sons, and it's something I strongly believe. I came from a home where I shouldn't have like a happy marriage, but I do, right? I came from like a background where I didn't see exactly a lot of inspiring marriages. I saw a lot of abuse growing up. I saw, and maybe this is probably the first time like I'm even sharing it publicly, but I came out of that. I'm married to like an amazing man, not because I mean I'm trying to hype him up, because sometimes it's annoying, but deep down, like he's a good guy, right? And that was why I started creating relationship content. But over time, I realized that I wanted to talk more about even the art of content creation. And for a while, it kind of scared me and I didn't do it. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay if you've been known for something else entirely and you want to move. Evolve. You don't need permission. No, you don't. So it's okay to evolve. Your personal brand is like you're a living thing, right? So you will grow up. You will begin to see the world differently. Let people say you have changed. That's their business. One thing I realized is that the difference between ideation and getting results is being cringe. And I say it all the time, embarrassment is the cost of entry. And that's okay. I will be cringe. Because when you see my results, they'll be undeniable. Right? Okay, so stay true to yourself and keep telling your stories. So like I said, I have a yearly membership where we currently have about 45 content creators, in the community that pay $226 to learn from me throughout the year. When you break it down, it's about $19 per month. But the value they get is way beyond that. So they get one-on-one sessions. We have our first one-on-one session coming up. They started booking their meetings. They get monthly classes. Our last class was a vision body class, and we had a goal-setting expert come teach us how to set goals. They are currently setting their goals, and by next week, I'll start meeting with them one-on-one to iterate. And then in February, this is February, right? We're having Salem King. He's going to come and teach how to build community with storytelling. Because something I've realized is that there are a lot of creators that you're creating a lot, but there's not like the single rope tying it together. I remember what I said about storytelling is missing, and it's just like everything feels disjointed. So Salem will be there. And then in March, Dimeji is coming. Dimeji works with Google. He's also a creator. He does visual storytelling very well. And I've paid Dimeji $750 to learn how to shoot like him, just because I liked his videos. One thing about me, I will pay for things because I've seen how he makes me better. And then in April, we have Rennie. Rennie is going to come and share how she makes multiple streams of income as a content creator. And then after April is May, Abby. Yeah, in May we have Fumi. Fumi is going to come and share how she makes money as an events content creator. And like throughout the month, we have people coming in to come and teach. And the best part is just, being in that same place, where you're learning from other creators. If you have questions, you are getting answers to it. So if that sounds like anything you like, you can scan this QR code. It will lead you to sign up for my newsletter, and then you see like more details about the community.